Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the vampire horror comedy, Fanged Up. A film that stars Daniel O'Reilly, who best I can figure, I think this is his first acting role, or certainly one of his first, and I think he's a stand-up comedian. Stu Bennett, who many will recognise as the former WWE wrestler who is now moving into movies. And Steven Berkoff, the legendary actor Steven Berkoff. Now then, let's say it's a British horror comedy that's themed around vampires, and it focuses on Daniel O'Reilly's character, Jimmy Rigsdale, who causes a bit of a fracas at a nightclub, taken to the police station, and he's sent to prison for the weekend. Yes, that's the first big hurdle you're going to have to get over with this film, guys. And this prison that he's sent to is run basically by vampires who herd a certain type of prisoner there who've all got a certain blood type, etc. And very little in the way of family. And then they basically have lunch whenever they want. And this focuses on Jimmy and a few of the other prisoners and a doctor played by Daniel Harold, I think she's called Kate or Katie. And they've got to figure out how they're going to get out of this prison in one piece, while the master vampire played by Steven Berkoff is trying to figure out which one of these inmates is the purest so that he can fulfill some ancient prophecy. There we go. That's the story with this film. Now, what did I think of Fanged Up? Well, if you can get over many of the glaring issues with this film, namely some poor performances by some reasonably key characters, massive plot holes that you can drive double-decker buses through, there's an awful lot of fun to be had with this film. And I do mean it is a lot of fun. I think Daniel O'Reilly, who plays the lead, Jimmy, if this is his first role, I think he does a remarkable job. The first 10 minutes of meeting him, you want to smash his face in because he's seriously annoying. But he actually you warm to his character quite a lot, and he is genuinely funny. Some of the stuff that he comes out with is really, really funny. Stu Bennett's character, he plays a Russian Victor. Don't know why they chose to make him a Russian, to make him harder. I don't know. He's naturally he's a huge guy. I don't think the Russian angle was needed, but there you go. So he does a dodgy Russian accent throughout this thing. And Steven Berkoff is scene-chewingly wonderful as always. The biggest surprise here for me for this film was the effects. I thought the effects for the large part were excellent for these vampires, much better than I anticipated, because like I say, when this film started, some of the performances from the side characters were so poor, I was really worried about this film. I think all the central performances are okay, while not being outstanding, and that's everybody apart from Steven Berkoff, who does his job by the book. And I was really worried. But then when you actually start seeing the vampires, the vampire effects, it takes you by surprise because they are surprisingly good. The gore is completely on point here. Loads of gore, really good in that sense. So there is lots here for horror fans to enjoy. And the comedy, even though it is a decidedly British humour for the large part of the film, a lot of it hit home. I did laugh out loud 2 or 3 times and giggled quite a lot watching this film. So the humour worked on me, but humour is subjective. What I find funny, you might not find funny. So that's the difficult balance with any kind of comedy, especially when you're throwing it into a horror film, the comedy. I thought the balance worked okay here, but that's not to say that this film does not have issues. Massive, huge issues in regards to the plot and things like that, and some of the performances really put you off. I think they did get so much right. The location, it was a proper prison. It felt real, genuine, all this kind of stuff. But there was an actor they got to play Miss Rhinefeld, I believe she was called, Lauren Socha. I don't recall seeing her in anything else. It was such a deadpan performance. It took you out of the film, and there's 2 or 3 performances like that are really quite jarring in this film, and don't belong, if you like. And I think they could have done better. And there was an appearance at the beginning of the film as well, and I kept thinking, I know that guy. There's a death right at the beginning of the film, and it's that guy. It pops up on Facebook all the time doing these comedy skits, which I just thought was a nice bit of trivia there. It took me ages to figure out who he was, because I knew who he was, and that's how I recognised from. He does all these skits on Facebook, comedy skits and things. So, what's my final verdict on Fanged Up? Well, it's a pretty flawed film, but I do think its charm and humour, and reasonably high production values in regards to the effects and the vampire effects, kind of win you over. But there are, you might watch this film and completely hate it. I've seen some reviews on IMDb where they're giving it 1s out of 10, and I've seen others giving it 10s out of 10. I think it all depends on if the humour lands with you or not with this film, and I thought parts of it were funny. So I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. I did quite enjoy it. I had quite a bit of fun with this film, so yeah, give it a go if you like this sort of film. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.